Hey y'all, it's Christy with Teadoddles. Did you miss me? I missed y'all. It is finally time for another episode of Teadoddles Talks. I have no idea what number it is, but it will be in the title if you really want to know. It's in the 50s somewhere. I don't know what. But first, let me say, welcome new subscribers. Welcome back, subscribers. I'm happy to have you here with me in my maker shenanigans. I do like to do the sewing things, the yarny things, and the DIY things. So you will see a little bit of all of that here on this channel. So if you consider this a maker channel, so if you like to make things, you might like it here. All right? It's been a long time since I said that, y'all. Because when I did the Vlogmas, which sort of Vlogmas, and then I did the daily Maker Advent, I didn't say that, so it's been a while, y'all. It's been a while. I'm having me this was my last little pod. It was a vanilla cinnamon bun or something like that, but in my I love you more than bacon mug, because it is very cold outside. I just walked the dogs, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna fix me something warm to drink and come in here and do my podcast. And then when I first got on here, I was like, my nose was so red. Because when I go outside and it's cold, it makes my nose run. Everything makes my nose run, it seems. So I had, clean things up a bit. And then I realized my nose looked really red and I looked sick or something. I'm not sick, so I just can't get situated in my chair today. Okay. So, I got a lot of things to share with y'all today. So what have I been doing? I have been, well, I took a week off completely from things except for the Maker Advent and trying to do Vlogmas. I didn't do it as much once my son got here. He stayed for a whole week. I just enjoyed time with him. We watched a lot of Netflix shows and movies that we could find, and we just chilled and enjoyed each other's company. So I really enjoyed that. And then I had intended to get right back to it after he left, but then I was like, I really need, it was so messy in here. I just couldn't think about what I had to do. It's like, I need to start cleaning out this, okay? So I did, and I did some rearranging. You may notice my fabric shelf back here looks a little different. So I've rearranged some things. And I did show some pictures of it in progress, sort of, in my blog post for the Maker Stash Down, which I'm doing again this year because I started it last year and I don't feel like things just fell apart somewhere at some point, and I don't feel like it went the way I wanted it to, because my goal was to, bring the stash down. I have lots of stashes because I like to do lots of things. And it just didn't work out. So I felt like I needed a do-over. So, and a lot of people felt like they did too, or they just are now joining in. So, I kicked it off the first of the month with a blog post. And if you haven't already, you can join my Teadoddles Makers Facebook group. There's a link down in the description always. Because each month, you just tell us what your goals are for the month. And then at the end of the month, you tell us what you finished. You shared pics, because we like to see pics, right? And then I'll put your name in a drawing for a $20 Amazon gift card. I give one away every month in there. Just something to reward yourself with for doing a good job stashing down. Although many people tend to buy more maker supplies with it, but that's fine. You do whatever you want to with it. And I had some questions about that in my Facebook group. Do you have to finish the project by the end of the month? No, you're just pushing your progress. Some projects take more than 1 month to finish. That's perfectly okay. It's a way to support each other and finishing projects and see other people make things. It doesn't matter what you make. You can put it in there, although I will say it's family friendly. Okay, so yeah, let's keep it family friendly. I think I have that in the kind of, I hate to say rules and regulations, that just sounds weird, but just, it's a family friendly thing. I do have some younger peoples that look at that sometimes, so I would like to keep it family friendly. Okay. But when I say you can, it doesn't matter what you make. Like if you sew, if you do yarny stuff, if you do DIY stuff, if you bake, we've had a lot of people put stuff that they bake in there. Oh, it's so good. So yeah, if you think you'd enjoy that sort of thing, go check it out. So I kind of got sidetracked, didn't I? Because I was talking about rearranging my space. So I have boxes of stuff in there. Some is going to relatives who create, and some will be going to the local helping hands. And the yarny stuff, and there are some things I've kept for my giveaway boxes, okay? Which I'll talk about that towards the end, okay? So I have thoroughly gone through my space and thoroughly rearranged my space. I still have a lot of stuff. Even though I have boxes of stuff in there, I still have a lot of stuff. So my goal this year is to cut everything in half by the end of the year. All of my stashes. Yeah, that seems like a lot. It seems overwhelming at the moment, but I think that I can if I really put my mind to it. I like to make stuff, so yeah. And that's because I hope to move eventually, and I don't have to back up all this stuff. And I'm being honest about that. Yeah. So, and I also realized that I have so much fabric that I didn't get to use last year for bags in the shop that I probably won't have to buy fabric this year for the shop, except for the Mini Maker Bag Club, because that is a special order and it's themed for that. Okay. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been cleaning and clearing out stuff. Just taking some time for myself. Doing some personal sewing projects, which I got some to show you. I'm excited about that because I had some things I'm going to try to finish this up or decide if I want to let it go. Probably didn't let go of much stuff as I thought I would, but once I get into it, right back into some projects I kept, there could be a point where it's like, I don't really want to keep this. So, yeah. That's what I've been doing. Just chilling with my dogs. Yeah, they pretty much, well, my little one wants to play all the time. My big dog does not play at all. So now, there's some more life news. I go back to school. So yeah, typically I break this down I do kind of life updates and things like that in the beginning. And then I go to yarny stuff, and then I go to, I don't know why I'm doing my fingers like this, but it's fun. So then I go to my sewing stuff, and then I do DIY. And Thrifty Goodness is usually what I call it. I like to thrift shop, even though I haven't been able to do that in a very long time. I probably don't need to, because I got a lot of stuff in that area too. I don't tend to show that as much on here. I did it on the blog when I did more regular posts, so that's something I'm looking forward to getting back into. But so the school pushed their start date back 2 weeks because of regulations and things like that. So I don't actually start back with the tech school until the 13th, which is Wednesday. And then the high school they made everybody be online for the first 2 weeks at least. So I don't start back with them till the 19th. So yeah. So next week is I really only have 2 days I have to go into work, and then I'll be off again. So that's kind of why I took time to do stuff, because I had some extra time, right? Although I need to really get on the ball, which I have been, because I have things to finish. I gotta put some bags in the shop. I gotta finish up those quilted zipper totes that people are supposed to get at the end of the year that were in the Mini Maker Bag Club. I have not forgot about that. You will still be getting your tote if you were in it all year for free. I will ship it, and then I will have some extras. You will get a discount code based on how many months you were in the club. Okay, just haven't had a chance to do that yet. Okay. So yeah, I'll be going back to school then, and then anything else? There's something I'm forgetting about, but maybe I'll think about it later. So in the shop, There's not anything in the shop, really. I don't think there's any bags left in the shop. I think I just mailed out the last one yesterday or today. There are some patterns in there, in case y'all didn't know. I do have 2 crochet patterns in there. I'm working on a third, which I don't know when I'll have that done. I'm gonna have to get it tested. I feel better when I'm gonna sell a pattern to have it tested first. If I'm giving the pattern away for free, I don't have it tested. I just don't, because it's free. If you find an error, you can tell me and I'll fix it. So, what else? So at the end, I will talk about my giveaway boxes, my Happy Mail stuff, which I'm starting up against this year. That did not work out well last year either. And what else? I have something else about the Mini Maker Bag Club, but we'll wait to the end of the thing for that. And then I'm trying to think. I feel like I've forgotten something, but that I'm really gonna put that in Yarny Goodness because it does relate to that. But yeah, I think that's it for life stuff at the moment. So we will yeah, I think we'll move on to Yarny Goodness, won't we? Okay, it is time for Yarny Goodness. Are y'all ready? I have a huge amount to share with y'all. Other than I wanted to update you. I did thoroughly go through my yarn and update. I have an Excel file. I'll put a link to I did a video about my Excel file, how I keep up with my yarn. I don't do it for my fabric because a lot of my fabric has a higher turnover now. I do have a bunch of apparel fabrics, but I keep little swatches of them, and I just don't do that with my fabric. I can see all of it pretty much, so I don't need to know, because my yarn is kind of in different places. I have some in bags up on the shelf over here. I have 2 shelves over here now that have yarn, and then in my son's old room, that's where most of it is. I have bins and bins and bins of yarn. So some of it's where I can't see it all the time. Okay, so I updated my Excel chart because I like to keep it with the yardage. And the reason I like to keep up with the yardage is because with the weight, something could weigh more than this, right? And you have less yardage on it, even though it weighs more. That's the way I prefer to do it. So my total, I don't have the exact number. I know roundabout because I didn't write it down. Yarn yardage is over 220,000 yards of yarn. Yeah, so that went way up compared to last year when I started and I wanted to cut it in half. It did not happen. So I have put myself on a serious yarn ban. The only thing I want to do is I will continue my Knot Sock Club with Southern Skeins because I love it. I don't have any other yarn subscriptions. You know what? I think I need to order. I don't think I've ordered January, so I need to remember to do that. So yeah, but I've put myself on a restriction from buying any crafty stuff unless I need it to finish a project because I have way too much. Okay, and I'm trying to like figure out what do I have that I could finish this with, that kind of thing. So and if I need it for the shop, that's totally different. You know, like I said, most of my stuff for the shop, I probably won't be buying much except for the clubs. But we're talking about yarn, okay? So that means that I need to cut that in half, and that's so 110,000 yards of yarn I need to use. So my goal is to update that each month, okay? Now I will talk about it in my podcast. I generally do this podcast once a month. I'm doing this at a weird time because I didn't do it. Generally, I post them on Sunday, and this may just go up on Sunday morning. I'm doing this on a Saturday afternoon. But by the time I get it edited and stuff, I'll probably just put it up Sunday morning. Even though I said it was coming out today, it'll be okay. So, since how long since I've done this? I'm losing my train of thought. I got so much stuff I want to talk about. So that means 110,000 yards of yarn. And that does include stuff I already have in progress, because I keep things in that file. I just highlight it differently if it's in a project, because I have notes section, and I just can recognize, okay, that yarn's being used in a project already if I'm looking for yarn for another project. Okay. So once I finish those projects, that brings that down. Okay. So I have projects I've picked out of my project bags that I want to try to finish this month. Okay. Now, this is only about a third of my project bags, maybe. I don't think it's going to seem like a lot to some people, but I have so many project bags, and I've got to find me a rack of some kind to hang them on to keep them off the floor, because my dog likes to pee on them. Look at him. I can't see him. I was going to give him a steak face. It drives me bananas. Luckily, most of my bags are thicker, and it hasn't gotten to my yarn. I gotta get them up off the floor. Plus, they just are in the floor, and I don't want that. So, I just gotta find me a rack. I have a space on the wall over here to put one up, but I just gotta figure out. I'm thinking about getting one of those expandable coat racks or two to hang them up on. I'm not sure yet. So, I haven't decided on that yet. Anywho, before we get into that, I wanted to tell y'all about the cow crochet along I have going on the blog. Okay. Now, I had talked about this before, and I posted in my community tab about it yesterday. If you don't get those notifications, you may want to check to make sure you're subscribed still. Check to make sure you turn on notifications if you need to do that, so you know when it comes out. Because YouTube has a habit of unsubscribing people or whatever, just because it feels like it. I don't know. So be sure to check that out if you're missing out on those things. Now, the cow is called the Cozy Murder Mystery Cow. I'm a huge fan of murder mysteries. I like to read them. I like to watch shows about them. And I watch all sorts of them, okay? But now a cozy murder mystery is more tame, right? And it's not as long or as involved typically as just a standard murder mystery. So that's why I picked those books. So each month I pick a book for Amazon, because I tend to do the Kindle books, because although I have been trying to buy more physical books here lately, because I can get it instantaneously, I don't have to wait for it, okay? Because when I read a book, I don't typically read it again. I've tried doing that before, but I remember what happens, and I'm not interested in reading it again. So, plus a lot of those cozy murder mysteries are only ebooks. Anyway, none of the books will be over $5 that I have on my list for this year. As a matter of fact, the one I have for this month, I think, is 99 cents. And that's subject to change. Those things change on there all the time. There's several of them I've picked out that are free if you have Amazon Prime. So, are they free for Amazon Prime or Kindle Unlimited? I don't know. I have Kindle Unlimited because I can get some free audiobooks and stuff. I don't know. But either way, I don't remember the name of the book I picked, but it is themed around the month. So January is about new beginnings, and I remember in the title it had something about beginnings something. So that's why I picked it. I haven't read it yet. I decided to read it along with y'all during the month. So then if people wanted to talk about it, we could talk about it and stuff like that. And the cow part is I'm making, I am talking forever about one thing. I am designing a crochet block each month for you to make. It's just they're going to be granny squares. They're all granny square style, but they have different stitches within the granny square to give them more interest, right? It's a 10-inch block. If you make one each month, you can have a 30 by 40 inch afghan at the end to put together. So the pattern is free on my blog, all right? Now, I have put in there, if there's some people who, the written pattern makes it, the way I had to write it, it was like, good Lord, this is so much text. But once you get the hang of it, it goes really good, because if you know how to do a granny square, it's you just putting a different stitch in there instead of the 3 double crochets, which is typical for granny square. But I will do a video tutorial if I have enough people ask me. So there's that. So this is the first square. Ooh, this is very bright on camera. This is not quite as bright. This is the first square. And as you can see, I have some bobble stitches in here, and then I have a dropped treble in here, okay? All right. I am using paint box yarn for mine, okay, because I had it in there. I had a set of them. I'm going to make 2 squares each month because I wanted a bigger one, okay? What did I figure out? If I did 2 squares, I could do, I don't remember right, what is it? Yeah, 60 by 80 inch afghan if you do 2 squares. Because I thought this is just worsted weight yarn. You can really use any size yarn you want. Just know that your squares are going to be a different size. So you can continue the repeat in the rounds to make it bigger if you're using a smaller yarn, or you can just make smaller squares, whatever you would like to do. This is an acrylic, and I said I was going to make 2 squares each month because I weighed my yarn as I was crocheting this, and it was right in half. I'm just hoping, I got one more round to go on here, and I'm not completely sure that this is going to make it around there. It's a bobble stitch round too. So we shall see if I actually get 2 done, because I had figured out that I could probably do 2 per one of these skeins, because these are, how many yards is on here? There's 201 yards on here, okay? So we'll see. I may have to do something different. I don't know yet, but this is the first square. Each square will be different, but it will all be granny square style. The first 2 rounds are basic granny square. So if you wanted to go ahead and do up 12 little doodly doos and have it with your yarn, you could do that. But like I said, you're just going to go in the round and you're going to do, so it's going to be kind of a simpler granny square afghan, I guess, because I'm going to put different stitches in there in place of the 3 double crochets, and that's all you're doing, okay, really. And this treble drop stitch, what you're doing is when you get to this, you do a double crochet just like you would between the 2 sets below, and then you do a treble into the stitch and the 2 rows below, and then you do the double in the other one. I don't know if I'm explaining that good, but it's really easy to get once you know what you're doing, it goes pretty fast. This is such a bright green. Lord have mercy. I've got several different colors of this, and each month will be a different color for me. So this is actually a really good way to use up scraps. Not scraps, but just yarn, because you can do whatever you want to with it. Excuse me. All right, now I'm going to move on to my project bags. So the first one is this. This is one that I made, and I hope to get some more of these in here. I call this my traveling maker bag. It's got these nice long handles. Although I have been doing a quilted maker, it's smaller with the handles. This is a bigger one. This is more like a pocketbook. And I did bleach dye this denim myself to give it that look, which I love. Got this cute little, I got this from Mama Kayla. It is a cupcake with a face. Look at it. Got that on my zipper. Gotta get the handle the way that works. So this is something that I haven't worked on in a while. I really feel like I could probably get it done. This is one, I'm blending these 2 yarns, okay? I like to blend yarns. I think it's fun. It gives you a totally different yarn. But this is Karen Simply Soft Tweeds, which is an acrylic. And this is like gray heather. And this is a 100% alpaca lace from Cascade Yarns, which they no longer have. But I had a bunch of it. This was like some of the first fancy yarn I ever bought that came in the hank, and I did not know what the heck I was supposed to do with that. I tried to crochet from the hank, and y'all all know how that turned out. So this yarn's been around for a long time. But what am I crocheting with it? Because I've already got, well, I think this is a sleeve that I've got to finish. Look at how that looks blended. Oh, it's so soft, y'all. Oh, so squishy. This is the Fawn and Fallow sweater. I think that's it. I'll have the links down below, okay? It's like a big comfy sweater, and it has like a cowl neck kind of thing. So I have part of a sleeve, and I have one whole side done. Or maybe I have more than that. No. Yeah, this is a whole, this is like the front and the back are the same. So I have a whole side done, and I have, so that's all I have done. Okay, the rest of this stuff in here is yarn. I've got to cake up my yarns together, because I cake them up together before I start crocheting. It just makes it so much easier. Yeah, so I would like to finish that this month so I can wear it before it gets hot again. And it's actually been cold enough to wear this, and I'd never finished it. So I'm going to finish this sleeve and the other sleeve, because I don't know for sure that I have enough of the lace to do both sides fully. So what I had decided to do was kind of maybe stripe it in the front if I need to. So this is a big project, but the stitch pattern is not complicated at all. So it's something I can do while I'm watching Cobra Kai on Netflix. I gotta finish the third season still. I haven't finished it yet. So alright, so I got that project bag. Hold on, they're all over here. Let me put these little ones up here. There we go. So I picked one knitting project. I only have really 2 knitting projects that are bigger in progress. I want to start some more, but they just take me a lot longer. So this is a bag I made a while back. It was just a canvas, basic canvas bag with this kind of poly lining, no pockets. I might do some more of those. So this is, y'all have seen this before. This is my mandala, mandala ombre? Yeah. Knitted scarf. It's just something I started to learn the seed stitch. So I'm going to go all the way till I get close to the other end and then do the seed stitch again. So that is all that is. It's not anything complicated. It just, knitting is one of those things, my fingers sometimes don't like the knitting. Okay. So that is a knitting project I want to finish this month. Alright. Next, we have, oh goodness gracious. That bag, excuse me. That bag fell up under my feet. Alright. So this one, okay, so this is something I've mostly finished. It's a bird. It's a little amigurumi bird. He has his eyes in there. I don't know if you can see them. I gotta put his beak on. I gotta put some feet. The feet and the pattern are crocheted, but I'm gonna do wire feet so I can stand him up. So this was a little kit I got from a yarn swap. So there's another bird. You can see their little crocheted feet in there. So I would like to finish both the birds because then I can clean this out, because it has a magazine in there because the pattern's actually in the magazine. So yeah, that's a fairly small project. I wanted some bigger projects to work on than some smaller projects that I might could finish before the month was out and feel better about it, right? So now this, I was like, what is in this bag? I forgot all about this. I had started making these squares for Warm Up America for, you can send in for Afghans. It's like 4 by 6 inches, I think. So what I was doing is practicing different stitches in my crochet stitch book and making different squares. And I just sort of forgot about it. So I'm going to try to do at least one of those a month. And that's not a big deal because it's pretty... I like doing it because I learn new stitches and it puts for potential patterns later on because I'd like to do more patterns this year. Sorry. So that's just that's another simple thing each month. Kind of like my squares for my Afghan patterns, but hold on. This one's got no handle on it because it was I haven't even said the whole clothes on this because I did it backwards. This is when I was prototyping a zippered maker bag. So yeah, it has no handle or anything. Now this is just cotton yarn in here. I put all my cotton yarn in a bin in there. I'm just going to be making dishcloths and stuff. I actually have, oh, hold on a second. I forgot. Okay. I feel like I got crooked. Maybe I was crooked the whole time. I don't know. That book is an ebook. I realized that after I went and looked at my shelf. But it was like a dishcloth a week, or I don't know. It has so many patterns. It's for the whole year. So I want to do that. I don't think it's each month even. I hope it's not a day. That would be excessive. I think it's a week. So I want to try to do that. Okay. And that's just all that's in there. Is some yarn, some cotton yarn. I have a bunch more in there. I just want to bust through that. And I can have them for gifts and for me. I use dishcloths and I use some washcloth. I tend to use a poof though. I did crochet a poof one time. Those things are so heavy if they get wet. They take up so much yarn, y'all. They're just so heavy. But anyway, so that is something I would like to do. So I told you it's gonna seem like a lot, but they're just small projects, right? I picked a big crochet project, and I picked the knitting project's kind of small too. It just takes me a lot longer to do knitting, but anyway. So then the last one I have is in one of my little mini maker bags. This was, I don't remember what month, but it was one of the things. If y'all have this happen on your bag, so I try to pull these all out so that doesn't happen, just take a little pair of scissors and snip it off. It's not a big deal, okay? In here. Oh, socks. So these are with darn good yarn. They're socks. I've made a pair. I want to make more. I like them. So yeah, I want to make some socks. I want to learn to knit socks, but I gotta have time to just sit and focus on that. I haven't really had the headspace to do that here lately, so I just ain't done it. So, but I will learn. I will. I promise. So those are the projects I picked out for this month. Although this month is, what are we on? What is today? The 9th or something like that? What is today? I don't know. Yeah, the 9th. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So I'm not too far behind. I just, I'll probably whip out this evening some of those, like a dishcloth and like a square for More America. So it really doesn't take that long if I just do that and then work on the big project for a little while. Okay, so those are the things I'm going to be working on. I'm going to try not to start anything new this month. Now, I had wound up Christmas yarn. I said I was going to start on Christmas Eve. I did start a pair of socks on Christmas Eve, like crochet socks, but I just did the cuff. Just some random pattern I found on my phone because I couldn't look through my extensive pattern list on my computer because we had my computer hooked to the TV and we're watching something on TV. It's when my son was here. So I don't like the way the cuff's looking, so I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to have to try something else. So I didn't really get that started. So that's not really, where's that bag even? I just thought about that. So I piled up all my project bags on my bed so I could look through them. That one wasn't in there. I'll have to figure that out. Oh yeah, I do. I know where it's at. Never mind. I just realized. Okay. So, those are some of my goals for as far as yarny stuff. Now, I have all of these, which I went through again. I was going to try to make it through all of these by the end of last year, because I already had them caked up. This is like sock yarn mostly, and specialty yarns I got from different places. So I am going to be working on that. But, yeah, there we go. But I really won't start a new project till next month. That's my goal, not to wait till next month to start a new project. Par down things a little bit and see where I can go. I really want to do another scrap, a corner-to-corner scrap again. I have mine on my couch and I love it. I use it all the time, but I have more scraps also. So I may, well, no, I'll try not to start anything new until I get some of these, go through this, okay? So I do have some new yarn to show you. This is my December Knot Sock Club from Southern Skeins. This was gorgeous yarn. I have already looked at it, of course. You know, another thing, me going through my yarn, I realized I've ordered some yarn. I do have some yarn coming from Lion Brand, because they had their 5 for 10 weekend sale, which they have again this year, this weekend, not this year. Well, it is this year, but it's this weekend. So I'll put a link down below if you want to check that out. It was softball yarn, and I was like, oh, I can get these blues. I wanted to make a gradient scarf. Well, guess what? When I went through my stash, I already have that exact yarn in the quantity to do that with. I just hadn't put it on my list, because I looked at my list before I ordered it, but my list was not updated. So now I have even more. So I'll probably make a bigger project now. I don't know. But anyway. Or actually, what I would have done was ordered some other colors I wanted. Anywho, let's look at this from Southern Skeins, shall we? So we got this cute little ornament. I have to put that with my ornaments. I cleaned out my ornaments this year too. This right here sounds really good. Decaf chocolate hazelnut tea and the little reindeer charm. We got this little sew-in heart tag. It's like a little wooden tag. And we got a little card, kind of says, wishing you a Merry Christmas. This is the yarn, y'all. I am in love with this yarn. Okay, box, don't fall off. Look at this. Oh, I love the colorway of this. It's kind of vintagey looking to me, with the red and greens. It's not that bright red and green, which I personally don't like, but I like this. It's got some brownish in there. This is 50% silk and 50% superwash merino. It is a DK weight. It is so soft, y'all. Oh, I love it so much. I can see me making some kind of scarf. I don't know if I can make a scarf out of this. Is it enough to make a scarf? I don't know. Or cowl or something to wear during Christmas time next year. So, yeah, I love this color though, and it's so soft and pretty. I just love it. Anyway, so that is my new yarn. Like I said, her club will be the only one that I sign up for this year, as I'm trying to do stash, and I can't do that if I keep right? Alright, so there we go. That's it. Yeah, that's it for my Yarny Goodness. I hope y'all will join in my cow. Some people said they don't like murder mysteries or cozy murder mysteries, but you know what? You don't have to read the book. You can still crochet the square if you'd like. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention is set it in the blog post. Right now I have it set up to share in my Teadoddles Makers group, your square. If I get enough people, if I get a bunch of people in there, I don't want to overwhelm that group, I will start a new Facebook group for it. But for right now, you put it in there. And each month, I will draw somebody to win a special mini maker bag. So, that, if you needed more motivation to go join the cow, there you go. It'll be one I make especially for the cow. And as soon as I get it made, I will share it a picture in the group, okay? And like I said, if I find that it's taken over the group, I will move it to another Facebook group. I just didn't want to do a group with like 5 people in it. That just seems crazy. So if it gets bigger, I will move it. I will separate them. Although it will, sharing that will still count if it's a goal for the month as putting you in the pot for the $20 gift card too for the Maker Stash Down. So there you go there. All right. That's it. It's time to move on. Here we go. Okay, y'all, it is time for Fabric Obsessed, right? Which I am obsessed with fabric, much like I am yarn, much like I am any crafty thing that crosses my path, usually. Well, I do think that my fiber stuff outweighs, I don't know, maybe it does. I can't say that it outweighs it or not. I don't know. So, first, what we're going to do is look at a couple of finished objects. How about that? So I finished a shirt. I had it cut out over here. Ooh, it's in my favorite coral color. Now, this has tiny little birds all over it. This is 100% cotton, but it is a very high thread count, so it has a very silky feel to it. I put this little lace I found in my stash down the side. It's supposed to be daisies, but if you look at it real close, which I don't think I'm going to get close enough to it, it kind of looks like a spider web to me. So I lined this front portion with this little cotton. I had a fat quarter with this fabric on it, and that's what I lined it with. So now I really need to put a little thing to hold this together, or I may just stitch it together if I can get it over my head. It depends. But so I got strings coming out of here. This originally, this pattern, I had this pattern. Where is it? Here it is. This is it's so easy. Simplicity. I don't know if this is for sale still, y'all. Some of my patterns are super old. 3621. I made. Well, I kind of made this one because it has the trim, but I didn't put trim on the arms. Okay. So, I made B. Alright, so, only problem. Okay, I didn't, you'll see that it has a little sash around it. If we look at the, yeah, it had a little tie sash. You see that? So, I had it cut out. But when I was sewing it, I realized they added it on. After you sew all this together, then you like tuck under the end and fold it under and sew the sash up the front or up to a certain point, and then you can tie it in the back. I'm like, that is the stupidest thing. Because why would you not have put it in the seam right here when you were sewing it? Why? So I didn't read ahead in the pattern, and typically, sometimes I don't even look at patterns like that because I just been sewing so long, I know how stuff goes together, and I just didn't think about the sash. So I just decided to leave it off because that's just stupid. But it doesn't matter anyway, because guess what? This part right here, that's a little snug, and it sticks on my butt. I don't know what I was thinking. I needed to flare this out some, and I didn't. But you know what? I'm trying to lose weight, so that's what I forgot to talk about. Got buzz in my mouth. In my life section. I knew I was forgetting something. We'll move it to the end. So I'm going to hold on to it until I can wear it. This part up here, it's fine. It's just a little snuggish right here. It's almost okay, but it's so thin. I just don't like, I'm not comfortable the way it looks. So yeah, I was happy to finish that. So I did finish also this is a kid's skirt that's been up on my rack forever. Because I tried to get elastic waist measurement from somebody. Never could get it. So I finished the casing. I just need to get, it's this cute little skirt. Look at it. It's got these owls and rain gear. Oh, I love owls. And this is just like a sheer little polka dot. There. Excuse me. Got fuzz all in my mouth for some reason. So I've just got to find somebody who wants it, and I can put some elastic in it, and they can have it. Because I have no need for it. I don't have little girls. So I just wanted to finish it because it's been hanging up there forever. So it's finished to the point where, although I'm going to have to unpick the casing to put the elastic in because I forgot to leave an opening. But yeah, it's finished to that point. Hold on for a second. Got a little tickle in my throat. It does not want to go away. Okay, so I had this shirt up on there. I haven't finished it, y'all. I ultimately decided it's a tunicky shirt, and I messed up the front. What I was trying to do, I had to cut it out. That's why I got put in timeout, because literally all I got to do is finish that front and hem up the sleeves. I've already serged them. So I ultimately decided I didn't like the way it fit. The armhole is too tight, and it doesn't feel right when I try to move in it. So I'll see if somebody in my family wants it, and I'll finish it for them if they like the way it fits, because I don't like the way it fits. So that's something that's sort of finished, waiting for somebody else to decide they want it. All right, now this it's not completely finished. I gotta hem it, but I just did this while ago, so I gotta iron the hem. This is the cocoon jacket. This is a PDF pattern from DG Patterns. Okay, this was super easy to put together. Just cutting it out was kind of a pain, but I love the way it turned out. I've decided not to put this banding. It's like a fold over banding we put there and on the sleeves. I just decided I don't like that because of the way it fits after I made it. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do a basic hem around the whole thing. So I'm going to pause for a second so I can put it on and show y'all, because I think it'll have a bigger impact. It's kind of big, so just give me just a second. Okay. I love this, y'all. So I paired, this stripe is kind of hard to look at, which is why I didn't wear it for the whole video. But it's the striped panel, and then the rest of it is this big floral print. This thing hangs, so the bottom half of the front is also the floral print, because the pieces are so big. I only had a yard of each of this. This hangs down to my knees, y'all. And it's super comfy. It's almost like a loungewear kind of thing. I don't know. I could wear this, like everyday stuff. I wouldn't wear it to work probably, because it's kind of robe feeling, I guess. But I love it so much. I love the way it turned out. This fabric is actually kind of a textured medium weight knit. It's got a texture to it. It's crepey. This is a very smooth, lightweight knit. So this is also why I'm not going to put the cuff on it, because this comes right to my wrist. Okay, and the cuff, I think, is supposed to be, if you want to push it up or something. I'm not going to do that. Well, I do push things up sometimes, but I just know that I would never do that with this. So, and then I don't think a banded, because I'd have to pick a different fabric. I don't really have enough of each of these fabrics without putting a bunch of segments together to face it, and I don't think it would look good. So I'm just going to turn under that edge, because I have serged. Love my serger. Have serged. Can't see it that good here. All the edges. There we go. And I just have to fold it under and iron it and stitch it down, and it's done. And oh, if y'all hear my stomach growling, I'm sorry. But I really love this. I super love it. The stripes are a little bit much, but like I said, I only have that top portion in the front. The bottom portion is the floral part too, but I was so happy when I put this on. I was like, ooh, because I've had so many fails here lately with the sewing. Like the top I showed you in the beginning doesn't fit at the bottom quite. The other top that it just didn't work out right completely. I've had a lot of problems with the arm fittings and some things. So that is one thing that has made me decide. I got rid of all of my simplicity, well, pretty much all of my simplicity and McCall's patterns I had, because I realized that some of them were so old they were just the wrong size. And I can grade a pattern, but I'd have to grade them a lot to get them to fit correctly. And I have so many other patterns that are the correct size that I have, like from indie patterns I've purchased online, and some that I've ordered from Amazon, like from Style Art, that I'm going to show y'all in a minute. And I have a whole bottom drawer full of Birder Style magazines I used to get all the time with patterns in it. So I'm just going to let them go because I'd have to grade them so much to fit, and I have so many other options. So I'm going to put this other one back on because I find this distracting for me. I feel like y'all would find it distracting to look at the whole time, so give me one more second. Okay. I don't want anybody going cross-eyed looking at that, so something to think about when I wear that. I do love it though. It's so comfortable. I love the flow of it. It was just exciting that something fit so well after I'd had issues. Of course, a lot of that stuff's been on my rack forever, so I'm trying to get better about that. I have one more top up there that's already cut out and in progress. I have to finish, but it goes together weird and it's driving me insane, and I had to quit for a while. Plus it's made out of a slinky material. You know, those things don't always go together like you want to. So something else I've been working on, I made up this, somebody had gifted this to me a long time ago. It's called a cake mix recipe. This is quilting, but it had enough fabric in here to make 2 blocks. They're the opposite of each other. I don't know what I'm going to do with these now because I have a bunch of quilt blocks up there where I used to do testing for some people and just different. And it's like, what am I going to do with these random quilt blocks now? Because they don't always go together. So, I don't know. But this right here, it had a paper with sewing directions, and you laid 2 10-inch squares of fabric together, and you sewed around it, and you cut it, and you got all the pieces, and then you sewed them into the blocks. So that has been hanging around forever. I finally finished that. Now I've got to figure out what to do with the quilt blocks, but maybe I'll make a mug rug or something. So I've also been working on these. Now, when I do the Mini Maker Bag Club each month, the width that I cut the fabric, I can cut out 2 with each strip, and then I always have, you can kind of see the seam, not the seam, but the fold of the fabric. I always have these little strips left, like a whole bunch of them. So I just took the inner and outer fabric and sewed bands, which is a huge focus. I gotta have to separate it. I thought I would make one big quilt, but this is huge, and I'm gonna have to. Okay, so this is. All right, come on, get straight. This is it folded in half, which I can't even fit it all in the screen. So I can get 2 blankets at least, because of course in the beginning I also had less in there than I did at the end. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll make me a quilt with all those ends. I think that'll be great. The only problem is February's exterior fabric. I don't have any more of it because I used these things to make the pincushions I did last February. So, and it's an out of print fabric, so I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for that one, which makes me kind of sad. But I sewed on some of those. I've got several of them done, but I don't have all of them done. I decided to sew them all together, and then at the end I'll decide what 2 sizes I want. And then one of them I may actually sell or something. I don't know. I've thought about doing baby and lap quilts to sell on my Etsy shop. I don't know if anybody would be interested in that. It would just be ones that I make and put up there. I have some baby patterns actually that I've designed. They are quilt patterns. You can see them on the blog. If you look under quilts on the blog. So, what else? So that was some quilty stuff. I am signed up for cotton cuts for the small size, but it kind of ran from middle of last year and it'll run to like the middle of this year or something like that. I want to get caught up on that, and I don't have that pulled out. I also had pre-ordered a Tula Pink quilt along from Fat Quarter Shop for this year, and it just came in. They actually are sending you 3 months at a time, which I didn't realize they were doing that, but that's okay. But it's one that has the fabric. I don't remember if the fabric's already cut, but you get the fabric each month too. It's not just like a pattern. So I did order that. I had decided that last year. I pre-ordered it, so it's, you know, whatever. Alright, so as far as clothing goes, I'm going to cut this out next because I already have my PDF stuck together. It's just a simple little top. I love things with the sleeves made on it because end sleeves don't get along all the time. So yeah, it's just a simple top. I'm hoping it'll fit good and be similar to my t-shirt top that I love to make. I need to make some more of those. One that's got the monkeys on it I wear all the time, because I've worn it so much that I really need some other options. Actually, I do have 3 other ones. I just don't wear them as much as I wear that one, because 2 of them I wear just around the house, and one is more summery. It's got see-through bits. You gotta wear a tank top. So anyway, I got a few new patterns from a Style Arc. I am going to be doing another Patterns Galore, another thing more. I don't know when yet, because I have a lot of patterns. I think it's fun to go through them. When I do that, I just do I do crochet, knit, sewing, quilting, you know, all kinds of patterns, paper patterns. These are from Style Arc. They had a sale through Amazon where you could get like 30% off some of their patterns, and I like to do that when they have it, because ordinarily you can order most of their patterns PDF style. They have their own website, they have Amazon shop, and they have an Etsy shop, but you can get it already pre-printed. And when they do that on Amazon, I like to get some because they're discounted and I get free shipping on Amazon. Anyway, this is one of them. This is another top with the sleeves made onto it, y'all. You know, ain't got a sew a sleeve, why do it? That kimono looking thing I showed y'all, the sleeves are made onto it. Yeah. Anyway, I got that one. This one is really fun, and I don't know when I will make it, but I just thought it was super fun. Look at it. It's like a biker jacket. All the zippers and stuff. I think that'll be super fun to make. I love making structured things like jackets and blazers that are lined, because they finish up so well. It's just like they finish themselves up. It's, I don't know, there's something about it I just love. And I got this, this also another top where I don't have to sew the sleeves, but it's a t-shirty kind of with a hangy hem. I kind of like that too. So yeah, that was some that I picked off from there. Now they had a sale on their Etsy site as well for just the PDF patterns, so I did order a bunch of those, but I'll have to show those in another thing. So let me see, is there anything? Oh, I have one project bag that has an embroidery project in it that I'm hoping to work on this month, because I have a bunch of embroidery projects. As in case y'all didn't know, I do that too. But this is one that, it was a maker kit I got from Leisure Arts, and I actually did a promotional video for it because they sent it to me for free. I've never made it though, so I had a comment up under. It came with the hoop and this printed piece of organza and this the thread, and of course the pattern, that had commented that they had a similar one and they were hoping that my video was going to be more of a tutorial or to talk about how I made it. So I plan on doing a follow-up video and finish making that, because I do believe they still have those available on their website. So yeah, there we go. That is all my fabric obsessed. Ooh. So this month I'm actually going to catch up getting this done. I told you the shirt I'm going to cut out, because I would like to make a garment a month at least, more if I can, because I have a bunch of apparel fabric that's not getting used, and I want to use it. And there will be more bags coming in the shop. I have a lot of pieces of stuff over here in this chair and stuff I want to put together, so it's going to be kind of random. By the end of the month, I will have more bags in the shop. I just don't want to put a date other than by the end of the month, because there's a lot going on right now, and there will be more bags coming, I promise. Plus, I got to get through the Mini Maker Bag Club and all that stuff. So let's just move on, shall we? Okay, I just realized that I forgot to talk about this book. This is something sewing-wise I want to do this year. These are mini quilts, itty-bitty quilts, and they have one for each month. So I want to make each one. They are just 6 inches finished. So I think this will be fun to do. They have a lot of cute ones, as you can see by the front. They're all themed for the month. So this month's quilt, let's take a peek. In January... Oh, instructions. There we go. This is January's quilt, a snowman. Y'all, I'm gonna admit, when I first saw this is a cloud behind his head, but it kind of looks like hair. Like, doesn't it? Okay. Anyway, so I'm gonna be doing these each month too. I bought this last year. I think I got this off of Connecting Threads. Yes, I did, because it says Connecting Threads on the back. So I will put a link down below for y'all. So now we can move on for real. Okay, now it's time for DIY and Thrifty Goodness. I do have a few things to show you. Not a huge amount. This tends to be a smaller segment most every time, and then I wrap up with some other things I wanted to talk about that I forgot in the beginning. So there we go. So this is kind of a sewn thing, but it is also a DIY thing. I made this pincushion when I tried out a book from Leisure Arts. It was about pincushions, patterns. And I should have grabbed it off my shelf, but I forgot to. So I'll put a link down below if they still have it. So I made this pincushion, although I did not finish it off very well because I misread some instructions. So I decided to glue it to the top of this candle tin. You can see it's got paint splatter on it because I had to paint the inside, so I just let it splatter to the outside. And it has these nice grippy things on the bottom because of the candle that it was. So I've already burnt up the candle. And yeah, I just painted the inside because it had this funky stuff I couldn't get off. Like the tin was kind of discolored. Ooh, look, you can see my reflection in there. And I put this little magnet at the top. It's just a magnet that I stuck on. It's just magnetized to the thing. It's a pretty strong magnet. Because I figured I could put needles on that, because I don't like sticking needles in pincushions because I always poke my fingers on them when I'm getting the pins. So I need to glue this down a little bit more because it's not glued down good on the sides. But I just used some E6000 to do that. And now I can put like a little sewing kit in here. And okay, so it's not wanting to close good because there's paint on the edge, but it'll work still. Yeah, that's an idea. If you have a lot of things like that laying around, like I do. So I made that. That's actually been something I was going to do for a long time, and it was one of those things when I was cleaning, I picked it up. I was like, let me just finish this because this is just ridiculous laying around constantly. So, something else, which this is, I got rid of my old curtains that I had in the kitchen and in the living room. I didn't like them anymore. So, I just had blinds up for the longest time. So I finally ordered some new for the kitchen, which I love. They were Pioneer Woman from Walmart. They're kind of florally and stuff, but they had a little bit of crocheted lace across the bottom, which I didn't notice when I ordered them, but I liked them a whole lot. Anyway, the curtains I got for my living room, this is another set because they're sheer curtains, right? And they have this kind of bluish tone with this pattern, which apparently I like. I've realized this on a lot of stuff I have. Because I thought I would need 2 sets for those windows. I didn't measure them. I just determined this when I was ordering them. I ordered them off of Amazon. Plus, one set, which is 2 panels, was $24.99. You get 2 sets, which is 4 panels, for $29.99. Does that even make any sense? No. So I decided to get the 2 sets. I thought, well, I might need to, 4 panels because it's like 2 windows beside each other, but I didn't. 2 of them cover it just fine. So I'm going to use these on some other windows. I thought about using them in here, but this window, the 2 windows in here, I kind of hang stuff over this window for more storage space, so it's kind of not a good idea. So I may put them in my bedroom or in my son's old room. It's one or the other. I just got to decide if this is going to be too sheer in the bedroom because there's a security light outside my house and it may be shining in and keeping me up, and I don't want that. Even though I have those blackout shades, there's still light gets through, and I have blackout curtains. There's still light gets through. It's not a huge amount, but anyway. So I'm going to put a link to these down below because if you're looking for curtains, I think they had some other colors to choose from, but that's a pretty good deal. Yes, I can make curtains. I've made curtains before, but for that price, it was just better. I did look at fabric on Joann.com. It's like, you know what? I just need some new curtains. I don't want to make them, so I'm going to get these. So, that's what I did. All right, so the only other thing I have really to talk about, I'm going to kind of let y'all vote on it. If you've made it this far, I'm going to be doing a kind of review project thing next week, but I'm gonna let y'all vote on which one y'all want to see first. So first I have these Arteza watercolor pencils, and I want to do a little video where I kind of test out all the colors and maybe do something. I do draw and things occasionally, so these look very much like color pencils, but they're watercolor pencils, so you can go in with the water when you get done. And there's a ton of colors. There's like several layers of colors in here. It has this nice tin. These are all the colors in there. So yeah, so I can do this next week, or I can do this, which is wax. I'm gonna use wax. Yeah, excuse me just a second because I forgot to get this down. But I eat this wee yogurt sometimes, and I have all these jars because they come in a jar, and sometimes they come with these pretty things on it, and sometimes they're just plain, but I wanted to make candles out of it, so I could do that. I have some because this has wick. This thing has wicks and wax in it. Wicks and wax. I don't know. It just sounds so. Wicks and wax. I have wicks and wax. I'm sorry. I'm 10 years old, y'all. Anyway, so I can do that next week for my little maker kind of thing, or I can do the watercolor one. So I'm going to let y'all vote below. We'll see who makes it this far to vote. So that will be a DIY project that I can put up instead of all the other ones I'd usually do. So, yeah, I think that's everything. Now, what I forgot to talk about in my life segment is that I have been trying out the keto diet. I'm not impressed with it, I gotta say. I mean, I don't eat a huge amount of sugar. And I had already started doing things like sometimes I have a hamburger, I'll have tater tots with it instead of a bun, which the tater tots are a no-no on this too. Um, so I already did things like that. But I was like, I really want to lose some weight, right? Just to feel better about myself. I technically started this the week after Christmas because I didn't want it to be a New Year's resolution thing. I didn't even do a resolution this year, and I'm not gonna. Okay? Because the beginning of the year is like new beginnings and new starts and stuff and refreshing. But I feel like there's times during the year you should do that all the time, not just at the beginning of the year. Anyway, I thought, oh, this should be something that'll work okay with me, because if you're not familiar with the keto diet, you eat a higher percentage of fats, believe it or not, than proteins, and you have very low carbohydrates. And my doctor had told me before that, well, she told me I may want to try gluten-free because I don't have a thyroid, and she said that may help with weight loss. It may help me feel better too. I was like, yeah, which I had tried that before, but I tried it doing like using gluten-free products, which are not the same if you know. So I've been doing it for about 2 weeks. I have seen no progress. Okay, I thought I was doing really good. I had an app, I was keeping up with it. I did go out with a friend this past Monday, someone I haven't seen in like 15 years or more, a girl I used to go to school with. And that was a cheat day, so because we went to a local restaurant, a local Mexican restaurant, and I said I'm gonna eat what I want. But I've been really good, even with my coffee. I've been using that stupid heavy whipping cream, which I used before, but no, I don't think it's the right thing for me. I think I just need to. I think limiting my carbohydrates is good, but I don't think I should completely eliminate them for me, because it's just, I have felt less achy not having as much sugar or not having as many carbohydrates, which is great. But I feel like I just need to pick better carbohydrates and not eat as many, like the bread and pasta. I actually made chicken Alfredo without the pasta the other night, and some spinach and stuff in it. It wasn't bad, but it was just weird. I'm just gonna say it was weird. So, yeah. So, I'm still headed in that journey, but I have not lost any weight. As a matter of fact, it's been going back and forth between 2 and 3 pounds, and I don't think it's the thing for me. But yeah, I am trying to incorporate more physical activity. Like I like to dance along with, I have wireless headphones that I wear sometimes when I'm working, because I can go back and forth in the house, and sometimes I have a dance break. I'm not saying I'm a good dancer, I just say I like to dance. So yeah, just been doing that kind of thing, and I'll keep trying to eat just healthier choices and stuff, and not be so focused on the number of carbohydrates I have a day, because there's some things like, really, this has that many carbohydrates in it? That did open my eyes up to some things though. But yeah, I'm just gonna do as good as I can on it. I'm not a hardcore diet follower usually. I was just trying to try some of that. So yeah, I don't know if any of y'all ever tried that before. Plus I was concerned because of the amount of fat. Now you're supposed to pick good fats, like avocados, olive oil, that kind of thing, which I don't have a problem with. But a lot of the plans you look at have a lot of cheese and bacon, and there's even some people who grind up pork rinds and use it as crust, which I find a little disturbing, but whatever works for you. So, not having a thyroid comes along with, it can cause heart issues, okay? So they monitor my heart and stuff like that, so I have to look at that, because it messes with your whole body. Let's just put it that way. If anybody's ever had any thyroid troubles, you know what I'm talking about. So I lost mine to cancer 7 years ago. Yeah, I think this year in June will be 8. So yeah, I have to think about that too. I do like cheese. I do like the cheese, but it's just, I feel like I'm eating the same thing all the time. Even though I went to the store and bought a bunch of stuff, I did buy some Slim Fast keto stuff because I was going to do that whole route. I did like one day of that. I was like, no, I need real food. I can't with the bars and the, although they're called fat bombs. They are chocolate and mint. They look like a peanut butter cup, but they got mint inside. Slim Fast keto, those things are delicious. I love them. Maybe too much, but anyway. So now let's talk about a little bit about the giveaway. Now last year I started something called Happy Mail, right? And the way that works is I have an email down below, and you can send me an email with your mailing address and the things you like to do, like the crafty things you like to do. So this year what I'm going to be doing, each month I'll pick somebody, and I've got like a medium flat rate box I'm going to fill with crafty things that you like, and I will send it to the winner. Okay, that is sponsored completely by me and my stash and nothing else. Okay, nobody else is involved in that but me. So if it's something you'd be interested in please see my email below and send it to me. Now if you entered last year, I do still have some emails, but I would just send me another one, just to be sure, because just to be sure. I really need to clean out my inbox, my email box. It's too full. So just send me another one. If you think you've already entered one time, send me another one. It's fine. Okay, I'll look at all the new ones. Yeah. So I did de-stash bags every once in a while last year, but I'm gonna just do the Happy Mail, which will help me de-stash each month. And yeah. So I've got the Happy Mail thing going on here. And I don't announce it. I don't announce who I picked on here or anything like that. I will send you an email if I pick you, and with a tracking number for your package. So we got that going on, and then I got the Cozy Murder Mystery Crochet Along going on, which you can win a mini maker bag, is up for grabs each month. And then I have the Maker Stash Down, which happens in my Facebook group. And you could win a $20 gift card, Amazon gift card potential each month. And all of that is sponsored by me and only me. Nobody else sponsors that but me. I just like to share the crafty goodness, okay? Yeah. So I said I had one more thing, if you made it this far, about the Mini Maker Bag Club. So I secretly added 5 more spots. So if people ask me about them, they would be available, and one is already gone. So there are 4. How many fingers I got? 4 available, and they are still available, but you have to be able to pay through PayPal. They will not go up in my shop for people to whatever. And if you send me an email about it and they're already gone, then they're gone. There's no more spots. Okay, that puts me at 65 spots each month. I compromised a little bit and added the 5 more. That's it. There will be no more. And as far as I know, because I've had some people ask me about it, once those are gone, it's booked up for the year, okay? As far as I know, everybody that signed up, because there's several people that signed up for the whole year already. They paid for the whole year in advance. And then the ones that do monthly, as far as I know, they're going to want to stay in it, okay? So it's booked up for the year. If it's not, I will let y'all know. So sometime next week, I will be doing a preview of January's club. Now, I do have another club that I'm going to put up. It is not the Mini Maker Bag Club. It is a quarterly club, and it is a larger bag, right? So each month you will get a larger bag, which will be my medium-sized bags. It won't be my biggest bags. It'll be my medium-sized bags, like my maker bag. There's potential for the drawstring maker bag, or like the totes I do. Let's see, since it's only going to be 4 times this year, it's going to be quarterly. There'll be one with a drawstring maker, and I'll probably do one with a zippered maker, because the zippered maker is quilted. And then I'll do a tote, like this, the tote like, well, it's similar to this, but it'll be quilted and it'll have pockets in it, so it won't be, that one doesn't have pockets and it's not quilted. So, and then what is the last one I said I was gonna do? Oh my gosh, I can't remember now. I don't have any other bag styles. I have to figure that one out. It'll be listed out when I finally list it in the shop, okay? By the end of this month, it'll be listed in the shop. And it's a quarterly one, so 4 times a year. So I don't know the price yet. I know it will be $50 or more. It depends on what I decide to put in it, because you get a medium-sized bag. I'm most likely going to do a pouch of some kind, like a pouch, zippered pouch or something, to go along with it. Maybe. We'll see the price range. But it will have 2 maker charms. It'll still have the tea in it, and it will have a project for you to do each month. So, hold on a second, y'all. Sorry about that. My nose is starting to run again. Anyway, we'll have a project for you to do each month. So, if you did the Maker Advent Calendar, you saw some of the projects I did in there. I did like embroidery, little sewing projects, and we made a necklace. We made a little weaving thing. So, it'll be something like that, but it might be, depending on my price range, it'll be maybe a little bit more to it than what you saw in the Maker Advent, although some of them were a little more to it. So, yeah. So once I get all that priced out, it'll go up in the shop sometime this month. Like I said, it may be towards the end of the month. So we can start off our quarter. Although I was hoping to get it up sooner. I just got to figure out some stuff. I just got to do my numbers and all that stuff. So that is coming up if you're interested in that. And I will have the option to pay for all 4 quarters up front or quarterly. Like each quarter. So it's every 3 months. If you don't know what that means. So that is coming up. Because I know there were several people who were in the Mini Maker Bag Club last year. And then like, I got enough Mini Maker Bags. I don't need any more. Which I can understand. Now, something else. I'm thinking about adding to the shop because actually someone suggested this. And you may have seen them. There's the little sleeves that you put around cakes, like yarn cakes, right? They're a little stretchy. They're made out of stretchy fabric. And they just go around your cake to help hold it together when you're working with it. So I'm thinking about putting some of those in the shop because I have a ton of stretchy fabric and stretchy fabric scraps, and I just have a ton of them, and they'll be pretty easy to make. So if you think that's something you might like to see, let me know. Something else that will be coming more of this year are yarn bowls. I made the rope bowls. I made a few. Actually, I think I only made 2 last year. I stuck them in the shop. I haven't made any more since, but I do plan on making some more of those. They're just the rope bowls you sew. I did a whole blog post where I made a big basket with one, and I put fabric scraps in them sometimes, and I just do different things. I want to dye some and all that stuff. So those are coming as well. And there is potential, that may be what I do in the last quarter. I may do like a rope bowl and a nice zippered pouch or something like that. Yeah. So, something to think about. All right. I think that's it because I am tired of talking and my stomach is growling. It's ready to eat, and I need to eat, and I need to go to the store and get some creamer or some whatever I'm going to put in my coffee because I have nothing, and I will be sad about that in the morning if I don't have something for my coffee. I'm going to have my coffee. Anyway, y'all remember to have a life lived creatively, and I will see y'all in the next video.